Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und hallo zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Fake und Order. Ich bin es MC Muffix. Wir sind immer noch hier in Lostbelt Nummer 6. Oh, wo sind wir? Die Lostbelt Chronologie. Oh, wir arbeiten uns hier durch die Geschichte der Lostbelts durch. Cool. Okay, beim letzten Mal hatten wir einen sehr interessanten Part. Wir waren unterwegs und haben Aurora getroffen, die Anführerin hier des Windclans und hier von Salisbury. Und sie hat uns die nette Aufgabe gegeben, dass wir Norwich befreien müssen vor dem Ungetüm, was es hier angreift. Oh. Davor wollen wir natürlich noch Match reden und wir haben hier etwas über Asek gehört. Das war die legendäre Fee, die damals vor 4000 Jahren in der Fee-Ära die Feen gerettet haben, bevor eben morgen erschienen ist. Sehr cool, diese Übersicht übrigens. Ist mir gerade so random aufgefallen gehabt beim Starten des Partes. Na gut. Als nächstes schauen wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Und wir haben schon als erstes Notfall-Meeting. Emergency Meeting, now. We need to talk about the Free Tamlin. Have apparently been serving High Queen Morgan this whole time. Genau, aber das war natürlich die schockierendste Neuigkeit, mit der wir eigentlich schon hätten rechnen können. Und zwar die mächtigen 3 Tamlin, die Fairy Knights, von morgen Verzeihung. Lancelot, Gawain und Tristan, die natürlich hier der Feenkönig folgen. Also, you already knew about them, Artoria. Well, sure, everyone in Fairy Britain does. Why? Are there a problem? Oh yes, this is as shocking as Bedivere when he first wakes up. Artoria, can you please tell us everything you know about them? Okay, I guess I can cover the basic easily enough. It's stuff we Fairy in Britain knows. Die goldene Frage ist natürlich, allein schon die Frage, wieso sie sich hier überhaupt angeschlossen haben, weil irgendwie waren die ja, also zumindest in unserer Welt ja auch Feinde. The Free Tamlin are Fairy's High Queen Morgan has best of with names from otherworldly knights. They're the most powerful beings in Fairy Britain, exceed the magic energy only by the Queen herself. They also imperils to More's corruption, so they are the ones who handle them whenever a group of More shows up. Huh? Come to think of it, they're known as the Guardians of Britain, sworn to the service of the High Queen. The Knight of the Round Table. A fairy round table. Hey, no fair. I wanted to say that first. Why? Do you all have some sort of attachment to the phrase round table or something? We are just talking about a circular table, right? Well, I don't see any way around it. We're just gonna have to tell her about what happened in proper human history. Artoria, our world also has a version of Morgan. Though in our case it was during the 5th century, about 1600 years ago. There was also a certain king who defeated her, thereby uniting Britain and ushering in an age of peace. That king was known as Arthur, but her true name was Artoria Pentagon. Hey, that's my name. Quite a coincidence. It's not just a coincidence. You two are most likely the same person. What I'm about to say may shock you, but try not to freak out. In our world, you were Britain's great unifier, a king loved and respected by countless knights across the land. That's right. You were the ideal king, chosen by a sort of selection and trained by Merlin himself. Did you pretend to be a man during your reign? But aside from that, you were the picture of integrity. As King Arthur, you commanded many lords from all across Britain. Think of them as the equivalent of Fairy Britain's 6 clans. And from those lords, you choose the finest knights to be your Knights of the Round Table, a group of warriors with no equal. In fact, full disclosure, Sir Tristan there is one of them. So, from our perspective, knowing that the Knights of the Round Table serve Morgan here, it's like hearing that a group of heroes you always looked up are now working for the baddest of bad guys. Das ist genau das, was ich mir auch gedacht habe. Can you blame us for being surprised? Are you listening to me, Artoria? Ich glaube, die hat so einen Kurzschluss gehabt. Das ist genau das, was ich erwartet habe. Nee. Crap. She's so shocked she froze up. Oh. I guess I really am the child of prophecy then. Part of me always thought that maybe this was all just a big misunderstanding. But now, I'm a little more willing to believe it. I mean, Grandfather always said I was born at the same time as the staff of selection. Maybe I really can do this after all. In fact, maybe I'll take off a page from this Pentagon person example and save all of Britain too. Plus, we even have a native for a round table here. You know, when I first heard you share a name with that Tristan, I thought you must be a pretty bloodthirsty guy. But now, I know you were actually a knight of the round table yourself. That's so cool. Well, I'm certainly glad to hear you speak so highly of me. Warte, sie ist ein blutrünstiges Monster. Heißt das, dieser Tristan ist, What do you mean, bloodthirsty? Don't tell me that Tristan here is. She's said to be the cruelest, most short-tempered and wantonly violent of the fairy knights of the round table. Her nickname are the Fairy Killer and Tristan of the Blood Heel. They say she's killed almost 400,000 fairies in the 100 years she was appointed in Tamlin. Was? Ich dachte, okay, 400, und ich dachte mir, krasse Zahl. Da 400.000? Oh mein Gott. Was sind das für Monster? But you're nothing like her, Tristan. Seeing you fight beside Maxie is kind of like, well, watching a flower dancing in a storm. You always maintain your composure and strive to be a gallant and do your best, no matter what the circumstances. There are many people like that in Fairy Britain. So the fact that you're putting your trust in me, even though you were from a different world, is really encouraging. Yes. Indeed, that is how I try to conduct myself. That said, I guess there really is more to being a Tamlin than just a title, huh? Hang on, you said that in your world? Tamlin Tristan was appointed 100 years ago, long after Tristan from proper human history. So if this Tristan is original, that would make the Tamlin an imitation. But that would mean, has Monk known about proper human history for more than 100 years? Kann die in die anderen Welten einsehen? Nein, also Zeus hatte ja ähnliche Fähigkeiten. Der wusste ja auch, was außerhalb seiner Geschehnisse hier passiert. Well, I wasn't planning to tell Artoria about King Arthur like this. But I think we should still be fine. Plus, we got to find out about the Tamlin. Really, if we run into one of them without any fork knowledge, I think I might actually die from shock. Anyway, well, this Lostbelt Tristan and Gawain may not look like the ones we know. The fact that they share the name must mean they have many of the same traits as well. So we can expect Sir Tristan to use Failnout and Sir Lancelot to wield Arondite. Speaking of Tristan, where did he go anyway? He's in Altosume. Thought he had something he wanted to talk about to her. The White Dragon who tried to destroy Britain back when it was still known as the Isle of Ancient Sacraments. What again? The cowardly king. The fury of Britain and the personification of its desire to reject the age of humanity. And then there was the avatar of the Red Dragon, born and raised in stark contrast to what again? Artoria Pendragon. The king who protected the people of Britain, preserved its kingdom and established a human world. While fairies in Sacrament may have phased away from Britain as a result, efforts did succeed at preserving British culture and passing it on other generations. Strength isn't what made Artoria king. She became king because she fought for Britain's future. That's also why her knights agreed to set aside her differences and joined her at the round table. That's right, we all saw hope in our king. She was always cool-headed in battle, fair and impartial in politics. And above all, she truly loved all of Britain. Even with her small stature, she would face down enemies many times her size and strength without the fear of injury. She sounds like a really amazing king. Indeed, she was. I've known anyone braver, or more disciplined, or more proud. That said, even she didn't start out as a perfect king. After she drew the sword of selection, she trained with Merlin and Sir Kay day and night for years to an end. And that is why you needn't try to rush things now, Artoria. It's not a matter of you sharing a name with King Arthur, it's a matter of you sharing her vision. So please, have confidence in yourself. I know you can do this. King Arthur, a totally accomplished version of me from another world. Man, that's amazing. She must have worked so hard. Setzen wir sie damit nicht noch mehr unter Druck, wenn wir sagen, okay, es gab diesen Superkönig. Okay, es hat seit Jahren gedauert, bis sie zum Superkönig wurde, aber sie war es halt dann. Naja, wird schon schief gehen. Okay. Wir haben Caster. Wieso haben wir Caster? Und wieso hat diese Caster immer noch nicht alles Skill gemaxt? Ja, weil sie nur in der Ausbildung ist. Bla 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 bla. Finde ich nicht gut. Obwohl. Ich denke, wir werden hier die Da Vinci nehmen. Weil wenn schon Castoria nicht auf dem Maximallevel ist. Immer Da Vinci John MP5 Mann. So gehört sich das. Die Da Vinci ist übrigens meins, liebe Leute. Die gewinnt wieder hier. Die gehört jetzt mir. Da lasse ich nichts daran vorbei. Obwohl. Oder? Na, nee, bleiben wir doch bei Castoria. So, was? Wo haben wir's? So. Ich swap gerade nur ein bisschen durch. Theoretisch habe ich mich vorbereitet. Praktisch habe ich schon wieder alles vergessen. Tun wir nur den Black Rail weg, weil könnte schon schwer werden. Und tun dafür die C rein. Passt. Und dann haben wir vorher mit ein bisschen Morgen-Action raus, liebe Leute. Vielleicht fallen unsere Gegner einfach auf die Knie. Das wäre aber eine nette Theorie, wisst ihr, dass sie sehen, oh mein Gott, das ist unser König. Und dann liegen sie am Boden. Hallo? Hallo? Wieso sind die alle... Die können nicht mit uns reden. Nee. Mit uns redet keiner, wenn er nett ist. Der hat mir geholfen. Die können das vielleicht mögen. I'm back. You should have seen me out there, Mike. I somehow managed to complete 3 tough overrun quests all in a row. Oh, wow. Sounds like you're getting kind of desperate. Why don't you have an apple water on the house? Thanks, Mike. That's so considerate of you. You're really getting the hang of this pub owner thing. Oh, cut it out, Da Vinci. It's all thanks to you, my perfect angel. First we arbitred a dispute between a wind fairy and an earth fairy over who had the right of sunlight on the main road. Then we had to run a safety check on all the mysterious items, which turned out to be a bunch of banquets that had been sent to the head of the Wind Clan. And finally, we had to subdue an out-of-control wind fairy who had been unlucky in love for the past 30 years and wanted to have a romance with a human. Surprisingly, none of this was all that easy. But it does make completing them all the more satisfying. I was a little nervous at first, but everything worked out great. Alright, I forgot. You're the human, Maxi, was it? You've got a guest up in your room, and trust me, she is not the kind of fairy you want to keep waiting. Was? Eine Fee? Ein Guest? To see Maxi? Aurora? No. Ich brauche Oberon mit seinem Charme, der sie aus meinem Zimmer lockt. So this is a human bedroom, It's not so different from ours. No, that's not right. You wouldn't even have rooms like this if not for humans. Really, we're the ones who should be thanking them. Pardon me? So, you're back, human. You did well with the farm incident yesterday. As a wind fairy myself, you have my thanks. No problem. So, is that all you wanted to say, or...? We may have received word for a few missing companion. Every human captured in the South Britain is taken to the ranch out west, and a new human was brought there 3 days ago. You may be the one you've been searching for. If you wish to go rescue her, I arranged for a guide to show you the way. Tonight, I have a few soldiers stationed outside Salisbury. You are to rendezvous with them and finish the rescue before the night is over. I also have a message for you from Lady Aurora. She said, I hope you find your friend there. Thanks, Coral. Don't thank me, thank Lady Aurora. Now if you excuse me, I must return to my post. Die mag uns immer noch nicht. And I know what it is you brought you here. And I know I'm not in a position to offer advice. But you should know that the ranch belongs to the High Queen, and that is very well guarded. Naja, liebe Leute, irgendwann mussten wir den Kampf mit dir suchen. Ob später oder jetzt, dann ist jetzt doch die bessere Zeit. So, that's the scoop. Oh, one day said it'd take 2 or 3 days. I didn't expect them to actually come through so fast. Impressive. So this human was brought in 3 days ago, huh? Then we don't have a moment to waste. I don't know what kind of facility this ranch is, but now is not the time for cowardice. I agree. Oberon might not be back yet, but seeing as we have a guide, I'm sure he'd be fine with it. So what are you gonna do, Artoria? This matter really only concerns us, so we'd understand if you'd rather stay behind. I'd be glad to help. Plus, I'm going to find out what the real mesh is like, since I inadvertently used their name for a while. And besides, I'm feeling a lot more confident after all these last few days. Be it infiltration, lockpicking, or brewing sleep potions, I'm sure I can handle it just fine now with my Merlin Magecraft. Great, you have to tell me more about this Merlin Magecraft later though. Wollen wir eigentlich mal fragen, weil sie hat ja Oberon auch als Merlin bezeichnet, ob sie eigentlich irgendwas über Merlin weiß, ob sie ebenfalls von Merlin unterrichtet wurde. It would seem the soldiers are our guides. This is quite a surprise. I thought these soldiers would be fairies, not humans. Oh yeah, most of Celesperos soldiers are actually human. They may not hold a candle to fairies when it comes to sheer combat ability, but they have no problems with using weapons and, above all, the moss don't pose any immediate threat to them. So yeah, human soldiers are basically the fairies' moss countermeasure. Most of the clans treat them as disposable tools, but Aurora sees the value in human soldiers, even appointing the more talented ones to serve as personal guards. Remember, the ones we saw protecting the Great Cathedral? The fact that they were so strong is proof that Aurora's given those humans various rights. Are you feeling okay? I am just a little nervous. I've never been around so many humans before. It doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, I'm obviously fine with you. Quiet. They've noticed us too. Hey, you there. The suspicious looking ones. You the outsiders Coral told us about? I can't believe you actually showed up, huh? Why now of all times? This is exactly the sort of pain in the ass I don't need. Ah well, if this is what Lady Aurora wants, then fine. Follow us. We show you the way to the ranch. Be warned, it's a 2-hour walk, so you better have everything ready before we get going, do you? Yep, thanks for showing us the way. Können wir nicht von Mensch zu Mensch ein bisschen freundlicher sein? Man, you guys are dressed in the weirdest clothes I've ever seen. Lady Aurora sure does love her nobilities, doesn't she? Das sagen alle, Mann. Not very happy to see us, are they? They probably think of us as a bunch of annoying pests moving into their beloved Lady Aurora. Even so, that doesn't change the fact that they are helping us. We should be grateful for them to do that. Come on, Maxie. I'm afraid we won't be able to talk to them for a while, but at least that should help us make a good time. Also, auf geht's. Wieder mal wandern, liebe Leute. Sind wir ja inzwischen schon gewohnt durch die Pampa. We're here. This is the Human West Ranch. Not Human City? That's right. We used to live here too. We were assigned to a horrid fairy who robbed us of everything we had, down to our dignity, before throwing us away like so much trash. Us stray humans had nowhere to go until Lady Aurora took us in. We became soldiers so that we could win the freedom Lady Aurora showed us possible. We support overthrowing the Queen too. But we are nothing like the trendy rebel army who is counting on the so-called child of prophecy to bail them out. Rebel army, I've heard them mentioned before. Does that mean there's an anti-Queen movement outside Salisbury too? Yep, the rebel army situated in the old castle runs out east. They claim to want to free all of Britain, and they even have the gall to call themselves the Round Table. Still, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. They are led by a human who actually survived against Lancelot and a juiced in Camelot. What? Morgan herself offered him a reward, saying that he'd proved himself equal to a Tamlin. Let's see, I think his name was Percival. Oh, Ladies and Gentlemen, ein weiterer, zumindest unserer Ritter der Tafel. Und jetzt beginnt die goldene Frage. Ist das ein Percival aus dieser Welt? Aus dem Lostbelt? Oder ist es einer aus unserer? Weil da gegen morgen rebelliert, könnte es auch einer von uns sein. Percival of the White Light, the man who reached the limits of human ability. Morgan was so impressed with him that she commanded him to join the force in Camelot, even though he's a human. But instead he refused her command and formed the rebel army. Hey, that's enough. It's too dangerous to stay here any longer. If anyone sees us here, Lady Aurora is the one who will pay her the price. Let's just ditch these backwater ferries and head back to Salisbury already. I take it that means you guys were only here to show us the way. And that sneaking into the ranch and looking for our companions is entirely our job. You're damn right, it is. Hell, you should be thanking us just for taking you this far. The Wind Clan might be good at everything, but they don't have the right temperament for combat. If Mong ever thinks they're rebelling against her, Lady Aurora's as good as that, along with all of Salisbury. Even knowing all that, Lady Aurora still asks us to help you. So you listen to me. Whatever you do, don't you dare mention Salisbury if you get caught. Got it? You better not bite the hand that fed you. Not if you have any pride at all in being human. Haben eine sehr hohe Meinung von Aurora. Aber es macht mir immer so Angst, wenn alle immer so sagen, ja okay, Aurora, mächtige Anführung des Winklers und sie hält halt nicht mal Kerze gegen hier. Also nur bruchstückhaft eine Chance gegen morgen. Okay, let's discuss our next move. I just finished analyzing the ranch interior structure. From what I can tell, there are 6 big factories in the middle of the complex and about 30 smaller ones. And since any heat sourced on the big factories, so those are probably shut down now. But the small factories have lots of heat signals. There seems to be about 60 humans inside. What do you think, Maxie? If we scale the castle walls, we could probably sneak inside without the guards spotting us. Are you mad about something? Oh, no, not at all. I was just concentrating on seeing what things are like inside. Now let's forget about these whiners who ran off on us and focusing on finding Mish. You still have your connection to Mish through your contract, Maxie. Can you sense anything? If you can, that'd be the fastest and easiest way to find her. It's hard to tell. Maybe, maybe not. Then there are probably too many cross lines to say for sure. Honestly, I'm feeling the same thing. There are just way too many contracts going around Fairy Britain. Maybe whenever a fairy takes possession of a human, they form a bond that's similar to a servant contract. If I'm right about that, the only way we'll know whether Mesh is here is if we see for ourselves. Tristan, do you think you can carry Max and Artoria up the castle wall? Oh, don't worry about me. I get up there with my roller skates. Of course, it will be the quietest and most graceful wire work. I mean, lure work you ever see. Both of you, over here please. Then I lead the way. The western wall is the most lightly guarded right now, so let's go in from there. Stealth hat bei uns noch nie geklappt, Leute. Wenn ich einen Encounter sehe, dann weiß ich, dass das mit dem Stealth nicht klappt. It looked like just like a town on the inside too. Sieht eher wie Arbeitslager aus. Artoria, I assume those large factories you spoke of earlier are those complexes and the small ones are the homes. That's right. Humans kept in ranches like these are shipped out with their creativity intact. So they should be confined in house rather than pens. Just ignore the large factories. We won't find Mesh there. It's not birthing season yet, so there shouldn't be anything inside them. Birthing? There's something here. A surveillance familiar? It must have been disguised as a street lamp. I can't believe I messed up again. I'm sorry, Ren, but we need to take it out now before it costs reinforcements. Lampen? Viele Lampen. Unschöne Lampen. Oh Leute, Mann. Was heißt denn das? Geburtsfarm, also irgendwie fühle ich mich hier wie in der Promised Neverland. Heißt es, die Menschen werden hier so gezüchtet, oder? Da ein kleines Menschkerl, da noch ein kleines Menschkerl. Ich mag diese Welt nicht. Oh, Absturz. Was man eigentlich immer hart, liebe Leute. BlueStacks und FGO sind seit einer Weile keine Freunde mehr. Aber so oder so, liebe Leute. Auf jeden Fall geht es hier langsam hier zumindest zum Konflikt mit Morgan und ihren Truppen. Was natürlich sehr unschön ist. Weil im Endeffekt, es ist also, die Einwohner hier sind, also knien so tief nieder vor Morgan und haben so eine Angst vor ihr, dass sie gar nicht davon, also dass sie halt so gar nicht dieses Rebellieren, also zumindest die wir bis jetzt gesehen haben, so im Hintergedanken haben. Die sagen sie einfach, das ist so unmöglich, dass sie eh keine Chance haben, weshalb sie es einfach lassen und da wo sie unzufrieden ist. Also das ist einfach so Leben mit dem schlechten Leben, aber im Wissen zu sein, dass man eben nichts tun kann. Egal, liebe Leute. Command-Spelle und diese Blue Orbs, die carryen uns schon irgendwie zum Sieg. Hoffe ich zumindest. Also. Endurance Battle. Genau, Endurance Battle eigentlich gar nicht so geil, Mann. Camelata. So, weg mit euch. Oh, verdammt, Mann. Jetzt werde ich keine Morgenkarten ziehen, oder? Oh, geht weiter. Sehr schön. Und noch mehr. Kommt alle her im P-Looping, Mann. Au. So einfach geht das hier nicht, meine werten Viecher. Auch wenn sich die Story-Tutorial ist, bitte nicht, bitte Faker-Tutorial, haut trotzdem raus. So, next one, aber ich glaube ehrlich gesagt, das könnte ein bisschen schwer werden. Also wie gesagt, nicht, dass ich das nicht schaffen würde. Also wenn es jetzt richtig Gameplay-mäßig wäre. Da Vinci, Castoria und ihr wisst, wen ich meine. Und Tamamo. Und damit könnten wir das locker durchstallen. Aber da wir das jetzt eh schon nicht gemacht haben, müssen wir das hier auf die altmodische Art und Weise machen. Einfach ein bisschen drauf hauen und das Beste hoffen. Ihr habt Guts, Baby. Oh nein. Ihr habt Guts, Mann. Also, liebe Leute, damit sind wir ein bisschen in der Bredouille. Das war jetzt nicht so gut von unserer Wegweiserin. Aber nichtsdestotrotz werden wir hoffentlich da rauskommen und hoffen, dass wir jetzt hier nicht den richtigen starken Fellwachen entgegenlaufen. So oder so, beim nächsten Mal geht es dann weiter und wir sehen uns dann wieder in Fake und Order. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal.